Well, hey everybody, it is Ron with Smart Ass Racing, and we're still on the same day where we started making some of these videos here. Usually we leave for the racetrack about 3 o'clock, but unfortunately they've called off the races due to rain. Yeah, I'm showing that because it's, you know, it's comical, it sucks, but off in the distance, here it comes. It's been on and off all day, and it's super frustrating because, you know, I haven't been doing this for years and years, and I'm excited, and I just want to get in there. So still have the cars in the yard. We got to get them up on the trailer. My son was working on his exhaust. It got, you know, damaged. But this is my girl right here. So I want to talk about, it doesn't really matter if you're new at this or you've been running for many years, but the idea of practicing and becoming a student of whatever it is you're trying to do. And I want to make at least one big solid recommendation, and that's for guys that are really trying to get better, that are willing to study, is get some in-car footage. You know, get the GoPro. You want to be able to hear your car, get it mounted so it's not shaking like crazy, and be able to see, if you can, your foot action, but you can hear that a lot of times with the throttle. Be able to see your steering wheel and such. So you take a peek in there, and you know, I got the GoPro mount, you know, set up right up there. You know, I've got the GoPro in my hand, and I moved the tachometer just now. See, this is my very solid tachometer job with it being, you know, taped in place. It's a little better than tape. There's a clamp on there too, but that was just a real quickie. I wanted to get it done so I can see the tach in the video. You don't watch the tach while you're racing. People have tattletale tachs and things like that, but I want to be able to see, you know, what's going on in the video, and I couldn't see that where the tach was positioned. And then if you're lucky, have somebody video from up in the stands, or if you're super lucky like me, we have two different people, Midwest Street Stocks or something like that on YouTube, and I forget the other name, I'm terrible with it. I'll get it to you later, but they record all the races and, you know, a couple local tracks around, so, and they do a fantastic job. So you can see the car, it's very clear what you're doing, you can see your line, you can see where you're going, and then if you overlay that with your in-car footage, you can hear, you can see, you can do these things, and you can study what's going on. Very quickly, when I was watching the in-car footage, I found one mistake that I had is I was jerking the steering wheel to the left instead of turning the steering wheel to the left. Now, I'm not saying you don't turn it quickly, but I was jerking the wheel. So I worked on that. The second thing is I was getting too hard on the throttle too fast, breaking the rear end free. And again, this isn't like a street stock where you're, you know, pulling wheelies. Breaking it free, it would get too sideways and you lose all of your drive and you're just sliding around out there. So throttle control. I could also see when I was going down the straights, the car was just wandering all over the place. Come to find out, I had way too much toe out. Now, I checked it after I hit the wall, so maybe I bent something, I don't know. I had like 1.5 inches of toe out on my car. Oops, you know, but it was a new car to me, and, you know, God knows what else I screwed up. But by putting these videos up, and there's same videos that I put on the in-car, you know, that you'll see up here on the channel, and studying what you are doing, you know, you can get better, you can make changes, you can become consistent. You know, if you have a good lap, and you'll know that from the outside the car footage, and you see that, hey, listen, I pulled away from these guys, I came out of this corner with a lot more speed than I normally do. You can go back and look at your in-car footage and see, what did I do? I had a turn that didn't feel right to me on one of the heat races, where I started out with I was on position 4 outside second row, and I was with, you know, the top 3 guys there. There could maybe be 1 or 2 that are in the mix, definitely 1 I would say, but these 3 guys they're bang bang bang, and I was pulling away. You know, I got the guy who was 3. I actually got into, you know, position 3, Alex. He might have given me room because I'm bad. He might have said, screw it, I don't want to deal with that guy. I'm not going to take anything away from Alex, that's for sure. But there was, on our second or third lap coming out of turn 4, I cleanly gained about 1.5 car lengths on him, which is massive. Oh, it didn't feel good in the car. It turned weird, but I went back and I looked at it, and all of a sudden the car had a clean line. So point is what feels good to you in the car might not be the fastest thing. So you got to study, and you have to learn to get used to things that maybe don't feel good and make them feel good. You know, you can apply that to all sorts of things in life. You gotta try some stuff that isn't comfortable, and it might be better. So anyway, become a student of what you're doing. You know, take a look at your car and see the setup. I don't know if you can see this thing, but she's definitely leaning to the left a little bit. She's high on the right side. And that's just kind of the way she sits. I'm not even sure how she got that way. You know, we have equal length springs in the rear. You know, in the front, you know, I just kind of threw some stuff in, but she sits that way and she turns. But you know, a lot of guys say my car gets flat. It's flat when she's going through the turn. Well, if my ass end is tilted, you know, this way, well, when it rolls over, it gets flat. So when that thing's coming down, I'm dropping 4, 5, 6 inches. You know, this is coming up, that's coming down. It's pivoting. That's my car. But anyway, become a student. That's it. So I'm going to throw up a lot of in-car footage. At some point in time, I'm going to learn how to do some voiceovers and maybe replay a few things. Excuse me. I don't do a ton of editing because, you know, just the raw footage is good enough for me. I would encourage you to do this. GoPro, if you don't, excuse me, Jesus. The GoPro, except maybe for the newest one, if you weren't aware of this, and I wasn't, you can get GPS on these things and the speedometer. So you see the speedometer and stuff that's up in the corner. That's nothing fancy. You just go under edit before you download the video to you know, your computer or whatever. Do it in the Quick app. Bring that thing, hit edit, and you can put the speedometer up there. You can put speed graphs. You can put, you know, GPF location, which is where you'll see the track coming around. I would absolutely recommend when you're watching your videos to put that on there, because you can see your entry speed, your exit speed. There's many times when I'm racing, when I'm feeling comfortable, you know, in my particular track, where I'm hitting 61, 62, 63, even 64 miles an hour on my track, and it feels good. And then I'll make a mistake, and then I'll start hitting the entrance at 55, 56, 58, and it feels too fast. Okay, because now I'm not settled down. I'm in my head, and if I can see that, I mean, it feels like I'm going faster when I'm actually going slower because I'm in my head. Something's wrong. So by seeing that on the video afterwards, I can go, you know, man, I could have been going 5 miles an hour faster easily. I can hear that I lifted on the throttle and I was just maintaining speed instead of accelerating, you know, going in. By seeing that in video and over again, it just makes things better for you. So I guess that's it. Go out there, have some fun. Hopefully you guys are going to subscribe to this. Leave me a comment and ask some questions. Building content for these channels, other than just watching us race, I want to be able to answer questions for guys. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. I probably don't even have all the answers, but it tells me something that you're looking for, which means it's probably something I should be looking for too. And I'll reach out to guys and true experts that do know these, you know, questions, and I'll get the answers and I'll make a video, and we'll have some fun. So that's it. See you soon. Thanks, guys.